Welcome to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation's CF Education Day webcast, the basics of lowering the risk of getting germs. This webcast is supported through unrestricted educational grants from Genentech and Gilead. I'm your host, Eric Conger. During this webcast, I'll ask the experts for ways you can lower the risk of getting or spreading germs and help keep people with CF healthy. To learn about CF germs, nutrition, how to partner with your care center for the improvement and the latest in CF research, watch an archived webcast on the CF Foundation's website. Joining me today are Drs. Lisa Saman and John LaPuma and respiratory therapist Kathy O'Malley. Lisa is a professor of pediatrics, a specialist in pediatric infectious diseases at Columbia University Medical Center, and the hospital epidemiologist at the New York Presbyterian Morgan Stanley Children's Hospital. John is a professor of epidemiology and pediatrics and the director of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation's Burkholderia Cepacia Research Laboratory and Repository at the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. Kathy O'Malley is a CF respiratory specialist at the Ann and Robert H. Lurie Children's Hospital of Chicago. Welcome, Lisa, John, and Kathy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, my first question is, why is it important for people with CF to reduce the risk of getting germs?
Well, we know that certain germs are quite important in causing infection in CF, and that infection can be associated, often is associated with damage to lung and lung failure, and can shorten survival.
Are any risks greater for people with CF than other people?
Yes, certainly. A lot of these bacteria that are involved in CF are ones that don't cause a great deal of infection in otherwise healthy people. So certainly there are a number of bacteria that seem to be almost specific for infecting people with CF.
How do germs spread between people?
So Eric, there are three ways that germs are spread between people with CF. The first way is what we call direct contact, and that would be direct contact with another person's respiratory secretions, such as occurs through kissing. The second way is indirect contact with infectious secretions, which could occur if people with CF were to share, for example, a drinking glass or the same pulmonary function test machinery. And then the third way is through infectious droplets, which actually can spread through the air about a distance of within 6 feet, and those can cause an infection in a person with CF.
What's the best way to reduce the risk of a person getting germs?
So hand hygiene. Hand hygiene is such an important strategy, and hand hygiene should be done frequently by people with CF as well as by their friends and families. Everybody's health benefits from frequent hand hygiene.
What's the best way to do that?
So you can do it one of two ways. One way is plain old soap and water. It's just important that you do it for a long enough time. We usually recommend ABCs, reciting the ABCs, or the happy birthday song, about 30 seconds, and making sure you cover the hands, the fingers, and the nails, or alternatively, particularly in healthcare settings, an alcohol hand rub. And again, you have to cover all those surfaces. Usually takes about 20 seconds, and allow the alcohol to dry.
When and how often should people with CF clean their hands?
So we definitely recommend upon entering and leaving CF clinic, before and after performing pulmonary function tests, after coughing because hands become contaminated by respiratory secretions.
What else can people do not to spread germs to other people?
Well, in addition to hand hygiene is respiratory hygiene, which is to contain your secretions so that when you cough or you sneeze, you use a tissue and then dispose of that tissue in a trash receptacle, followed by good hand hygiene. Now, if someone is caught off guard and they have to sneeze or cough and they don't have a tissue, then it's recommended to use the crook of your arm, like so. In doing so, then you don't spread droplets and infect other people, and your hands are free of germs.
And it's convenient. We always have our hands available.
What's another way people can protect themselves from getting germs, John?
People should get all recommended immunizations and vaccinations. It's very important. And not only people with CF, but it applies to their family and friends as well.
Should people with CF get a flu vaccine?
Oh yes, absolutely. Beginning at age 6 months, people should receive the flu vaccine, and again, their family and friends as well. And it's important to remember that that's an annual vaccine. That vaccine changes every year, so it must be given every year.
Can people with CF use a nasal flu vaccine?
No, but their friends and family can.
All righty. This concludes the CF Foundation's CF Education Day webcast. I'd like to thank you for watching, Lisa, John, and Kathy for answering the questions, Rick Vasta and the technical crew, Melissa Chin, Genentech and Gilead for the unrestricted educational grants, and the CF Foundation for making this webcast possible. Thank you.